America has spoken. Donald Trump is the 47th president of the United States of America. And I know some people is in the somber right now. But I must tell you, man, this is America. That shit with that you thought was real in Obama years, well, you just wasn't paying attention enough. That shit you thought, you know what I'm saying, you got away from when Joe Biden became president, it never went away. And the only bright side, maybe, is that Trump can't run again. You know what I'm saying? We have to survive another 4 years, and then maybe the Trump saga will be over with. But at this point, this is what we dealing with. This is who we got. And the craziest thing about it, I don't even think the demographic shifts were as significant as a lot of people were expecting them to be. You know what I'm saying? And even myself, they were a little bit more than I expected on the black side. Like, I didn't expect Trump to get 20% of the black vote. You know what I'm saying? That's up from 12% in 2020. But he definitely resonated with some of the same people that his plans for America is going to ultimately hurt the worst. And that's what's so crazy. Like, I remember watching Jubilee, and I'm watching these 30 Republicans versus 30 Democrats, and I'm paying attention to how trans people on one side of the aisle are speaking as opposed to the trans on the other side are speaking. And I'm not just trying to put this on trans, because like, you got to look at how the black people also on the other side were speaking as opposed to the black people on the other side. How the women were speaking on the other side as opposed to the women on the other side. And you'll see that though our interests might align as black people or as white people or as white women or as Latino voters, a lot of times our perspectives don't. You know what I'm saying? And that leads to a lot of confusion where, you know what I'm saying, you would think that that you can target black people or Latino voters or you know what I'm saying, white women or, you know what I'm saying, white people in general in a certain way, and it ends up turning them away from you. I think now, though, I believe we need to continue pushing for black and brown candidates to get in the office. I don't think we'll get another. I think this is show right here that there's not another black or brown candidate that can come up and actually, you know what I'm saying? I think if you want to go minority, we might need to holler at an Asian or something to run this time. You know what I'm saying? And maybe we might get it. But I honestly don't think, like, even the Democrats, when they just won 4 years ago, they used Joe Biden, one of the most moderate Democrats in office. You know what I'm saying? So I think for the most part, the Democrats are going to start leaning, and they already been leaning right, but they're going to just lean more and more right to the point where you might get some old school 2000s, late 90s Democrats where, you know what I'm saying, they stances on even LGBTQ change a little bit. You know what I'm saying? They stances on religion and all that stuff starts to change a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Which I know Kamala was a Baptist. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people try to down her as not being a candidate of God and Trump as one. When, I mean, just look at anything that got to do with Trump and tell me that's a man of God. But I digress. The American people believe that they have chosen a candidate that's a God-fearing man. Because I hear a lot of them saying that God won because Trump won. And that lets me know that how far gone the American people are, that Trump could sit there and lie in their face all fucking day. But Kamala, she just makes the fucking utter. She just slips up and says the wrong word one time, and it was like to her own detriment. I don't think Kamala, no matter how good of a candidate she was and could have been, was ever going to be enough for people. Like, we got people who sat out on this presidential election because of Gaza. We have people that sat out because of, you know what I'm saying, other, you know what I'm saying, things that don't even have nothing to do with America, man. You know what I'm saying? Well, I ain't gonna say it doesn't have nothing to do with America, but it doesn't have nothing to do with our internal issues. And that's gonna be a big shaper. I also think that just the Democratic Party has a bad way of reaching its people, man. Like, number one, you want black vote, but instead of really coming to black neighborhoods, which I think Kamala did maybe once with the going to the barbershop and shit like that, but like, you really gotta touch base with the voters again. I think some candidate gonna have to do that. The Republicans don't really need us as much as they'll try to lead on to believe. Like, they just know that they just gotta keep sticking to the same points they've been sticking to, because it's been working for them so far, and especially with the cult of Trump behind them. You know what I'm saying? But Democrats, I think the Democrats need to do more groundwork if they really want to galvanize the people. They got to really show the people that they're interested in the solutions that best work for the average American, the average black person, the average white person, the average LGBTQ, like all that, bro. Like, you really gotta go after that shit, man. Because right now, everything that the Democrats have been building up for in these last what not just to say 16 some years of, you know what I'm saying, presidencies, and the strides that they have made to help bring about diversity, equity, and inclusion, which I know are bad words for the most part in conservative spaces. It's gonna be destroyed from within by this candidacy, man. Like, we gonna definitely have to get back to like real groundwork. Black people, and I think in all, we need to, you know what I'm saying, collectivize our vote in a way to where we make our vote stronger, man. You know what I'm saying? We really started reaching the youth and explaining to them, you know what I'm saying, what plans do we really have for the youth, and get them to really, you know what I'm saying, see why it's important to vote for this person or that person. You know what I'm saying? Because the youth was another slump. Like, I think it was like 10 points. You know what I'm saying? It dropped from Joe Biden to Kamala. You know what I'm saying? And I want to say even educated voters might have been a slight shift. I'm not sure how big of a shift, but just a little bit that I'm reading so far, it's definitely showing that Trump dug into a lot of the Democrats' base. He didn't win them all. He didn't win a majority of them, but he did enough to shift the numbers in his favor. And now we're looking at the 47th president of the United States.